third type of light worker are manifestors. And manifestors are usually uniquely qualified to kind of draw in not only abundance for themselves but for other people as well. I have a friend who is a natural manifestor, and she's like, I don't know why, I'll say something and then the next day it appears, and I'm like, because you're a light worker and because you're a natural manifestor, this is kind of like their subset of being a light worker. It's one of those, they will kind of like look for the truth in what people really require. Because so many times people will tell me, like, I really think I need this, and they actually need 180-degree difference, or they need something completely different. Or I thought I needed this, but they really needed something else. And so this is where they're kind of like, that person is able to really hear what they really require and bring that forward for them. One of the things is manifestors are usually, often, always teaching other people how to manifest, even if they're not educated in that part, like they didn't get a degree in manifesting, or they didn't go write a book in it or whatever else. They'll just be naturally drawn to helping other people manifest, and they will be like, well, let's try a bit different word with this, or let's try doing this a little bit differently, or let's try something different. And so that's kind of the fun part of their energy, is just allowing other people to kind of like listen to their words so that they can assist them in literally bringing energy forward. That's the really cool part. Number 4 are seers. Fours are kind of literally able to kind of associate with like that super intuitive or kind of predictive powers. And a lot of times I will say that this comes through in kind of some dreams as well. It's one of those, they'll dream something and then it'll come true right away, or they'll just be like, I really saw this happening differently, and then all of a sudden it happens the way they just said it was going to happen. Like I said, these light workers are able to see into the future. Maybe not forever in a day, but they have this ability to kind of keep using that predictive ability, or kind of like the intuition about what's about to happen. Once they learn how to use their abilities, they can kind of knowing what's coming up. Like if you knew that you were going to have a car accident in 2 blocks, you could change your mind, or you could turn around and you could pull off in some area and kind of like, okay, let me let that time period pass so I can keep going. They will also tell other people, I don't think you should go on this flight, or I don't think, you should leave at this time. And a lot of times what they'll end up doing is kind of literally keeping you there for a little bit longer, because a lot of times it's like you're only missing the accident by a few seconds. You leave their house and then 5 minutes down the road there's an accident, and it's like, I would have been in that accident if I left on time. If I would have left at the correct time, I would be in all of this. And that's where it's really important to kind of listen to what they're talking about. So that's really interesting as well. They're actually able to see clear visions and kind of like really decide, like, is this the outcome that person wants, or is it not? They're going to be doing it, and they really do it on a global scale. So it's kind of like they do this globally out for other people. Like, well, if you get this, then this is what's going to happen. A lot of times people are like, I don't want that, so I need to change this. And so they're able to kind of give you that deeper insight into what's coming up. I will tell you that seekers are one of the hardest ones to do, because they really have this internal struggle of responsibility of kind of knowing what's about to happen and hoping that they can change someone else, or kind of give them that insight that could change them. But it's also up to that other person. It's kind of the hard part of it. Like, I can tell you that you're going to have an accident if you leave the house right now, but sometimes the person is like, no, I really have to go right now. And then they get into a car accident and you're like, I could just see it coming. I could just know that something bad was going to happen. They also love to encourage other people. They love to kind of like encourage other people, like, this is a great change for you. And they'll be the one that people come to kind of get that deeper insight into, this is where I think I need to go, or this is where I think you need to go, or let's do this differently. So they're going to be that kind of that natural person in that area. Which brings us to the next one is naturalizers. They are key in kind of tuning in tuning the bad into something good, kind of like they kind of tune it into something different, not necessarily turning it, but kind of tuning it. They'll kind of fine tune that energy from like negative energy into positive energy, kind of like tuning it a little bit differently. They will also kind of known for like facing darkness in the world. They are the types that are kind of like, I'm going to take up this and I'm going to fight for this person. I'm going to fight for these people's rights. And we've seen a lot of that in the last couple of weeks or a few years in the United States, of people just kind of like bringing up things of kind of like, I'm willing to do the fight for you. Even if you're not willing to fight for it yourself, I'm willing to fight for it. They usually are able to kind of tackle anything that they really choose to. They kind of bring in situations that may seem like hopeless at times, and then be able to turn that into a victory. And this is really kind of like an interesting part of, they're willing to kind of take on energy or kind of that challenge that no one else is, even if it is like, no one's going to change, no one's going to, no one's going to do this. All of a sudden it's like, boom, here it is, boom, with the click of a finger, here it is, and they're making big changes. And it's kind of one of the most powerful energies of being able to kind of fix the problems or the mistakes that we make, because they can kind of see, if we change this, this is going to change down the road, so let's change it differently so we get a different outcome. So that's kind of the best way to put it. Number 6 is dreamers. Lightworkers always like wanting to change, or kind of like seeing the best side of someone else. Dreamers are often always on a journey, and they literally could sleep all day and all night. They are people that just kind of sleep no matter what. I have some of them in my family. I'm always amazed, like, how can you sleep for like 16 hours? It's because they're not just sleeping. They are actually doing their work during that time frame. So it's kind of like, because they're not really sleeping all that well, they are actually kind of able to move into higher realms of energy, but they don't even know how to do it. If you ask them when they're awake, they have no idea how they do it. They're always on a journey. They are kind of like restless to kind of fix things or change things. So you'll see that a lot, where they want to fix or change. They're often kind of like that pioneer of I want to change energy, or explorers, like, I want to change how people feel about this, and I want to change how people feel about that. You'll see that a lot in their terminology. Usually light workers that are dreamers really want to generate new solutions, new possibilities, something that you've never thought about. Like, they'll come up with something you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know there was a way to fix this. That's what dreamers do. Next, number 7 is adventurers. Adventurers are light workers who are searching for something. They're driven almost like this internal drive of kind of like, I want to make changes and I want to improve something. It's important kind of like to sit in that energy of just like moving forward, playing energy of what's coming up in the future, but they want to go see it. They want to see everywhere in the world. Those are the kids at a young age that are putting on their backpack and rocking across, the United States, or they're going camping in Europe or whatever else. They have got to see it, and they want to see kind of like the regular everyday life of people, so they know how to fix and adjust that energy. But they adventure around and they kind of collect stories from other people, and they're always kind of like changing or modifying and constantly kind of like pushing energy forward. I want to bless these people in a way that they couldn't bless themselves. I want to help these people in a way that they couldn't help themselves. And so they're adventuring into new things, like, oh yeah, we can do that. And everybody else is going, nope. They're going, yeah, let's do that. And so that energy is just amazing. And they're always taking on like major roles. They want to ensure that everybody around them is moving forward as fast as they are. The last one, number 8, is the messengers. The messengers are also called guides, And a lot of times they have a special talent for communication, important messages around the world. I don't mean like they're gossiping about people. It's not a gossip. It's one of those, they're always bringing their skill set to kind of like spread messages of enlightenment, boosting collective energy, boosting like everybody's like love vibrations of kind of like, okay, let's bring more healing to here. Let's bring this more. And so they're always kind of upgrading everybody's words. Maybe they're copywriters, or maybe they're changing words, or they're upgrading things, and they're always constantly doing this. Like I said, a lot of them are writers, musicians, artists, kind of like they're kind of leaving a message for the next generation of, or the next person that's seeing it, moving forward, kind of always constantly moving forward, and really spreading messages is what they do. They constantly are spreading messages of hope. It could be even just in a story. They're the ones who are going to start everybody dancing, or kind of motivating them to make some changes. So that's kind of the fun, interesting part with messengers. So let's pull some angel cards and get us a little bit deeper insight into light workers. So let's see, I've got 3 of them popping off right off the bat. So I know this one is solar calm, and this is about clarifying. A lot of people really do have questions about light working and how do we do it. It's one of those, you don't have to do anything about it. You don't have to fix or change or adjust or modify anything. It just happens. It naturally happens around these people. Like I said, it's their inner purpose of kind of like bringing this forward. The next one is called third house, and this is all about communication. That's what light workers do, through their energy, through their thoughts, their vibrations, all of that. They are bringing communication for us to hear, to change and modify and upgrade our world. Next one is Taurus, and this is all about cultivating. Light workers don't always start out as light workers. A lot of times they start out in this amazing kind of like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do energy, or I don't know how I'm supposed to fix things. I just know that I'm supposed to fix something different. And I will tell you that that's kind of the interesting energy of them, is they know that they have a higher purpose, but they don't always understand it. And it's one of those, they really kind of cultivate themselves into that energy of, what do I need to fix, change, adjust, or modify, is kind of their mantra of moving things forward. This one's upside down. Okay. Neptune is all about visions. And I'll tell you, so many people that are light workers have some amazing visions. That could be the seers, it could be the dreamers, and kind of just knowing that there's something better out there than what you're dealing with right now can be really fun and energetic, and kind of a great way to kind of change the world around you. Because if you can see things differently from other people, it is going to change others. This is the 4th house, and it's called home. This really is their home. They actually, before they ever came to Earth, chose to be a light worker. They chose this. They wanted to come here and heal you, me, other people. They chose to be here to heal other people, and to kind of open up that energy in some very amazing, very talented ways. I will tell you that one of the things that's really interesting is that they're always wanting to kind of bring energy forward, and kind of they kind of grow into that position. Most people do not start off as light workers as infants, because it's so much work. There are a few that activated early, but I will tell you most of them did not activate probably until their late teens or early 20s, sometime in there. And one of the things that I get with a lot of light workers is, a lot of times they'll be like, I haven't slept good in years. You can take time off. You can literally just like your regular job, like, hello boss, I'm calling in sick. So a lot of times when I haven't slept well for a couple of days, I will tell my spirit when I go to sleep is, we're taking a few days off. We're not going to be light working for the next couple of days. We're taking 2 or 3 days off so I can get some good sleep. And that can really help bring us forward. The next one is solar flares, and this is all about activating. So this is what I'm talking about, is like the when they activate is different for each person, and how they activate is a little bit differently. But I guarantee all of these people are in action almost all the time. They love their job. They love what they're doing, and they do it day and night. I thank you so much for joining me today, and I know that we'll be talking again soon.